As someone that lives for survival games, I'm always on the lookout for any game that scratches that itch. I love survival mechanics, I love building bases, even though I'm bad at it. And most importantly, I love any type of survival game where you can have NPCs living with you on your base, or even better, take out fighting with you. There are some great examples of this, like Enshrouded, which is my absolute favorite, and Conan Exiles, which I played for a little bit recently. But this is not about either of these games, which are well known in the survival genre. In fact, while I was playing Conan Exiles, all I kept thinking about was how it made me want to play another little game again. That game is called Soulmask. I played Soulmask a bunch during early access, but didn't actually get far when it comes to progression. I had stopped shortly after going to a nice area and building my base. I started playing again recently, and after playing Conan Exiles for a few days. Unlike the previous time I was playing, this time it has fully released its 1.0 version. Now, I feel like comparing Conan Exiles and Soulmask might be a bit taboo, but this has been my personal experience. Conan Exiles is a really good game and has a huge community. But why do I keep thinking of Soulmask while playing it and wondering why it doesn't have the same recognition? The reason for that is that Soulmask very clearly took inspiration from certain core mechanics of Conan Exiles, and, based on my personal preference mind you, improved upon them. In both games, you start off naked and finding resources, classic survival stuff, crafting your gear and getting started in an unfamiliar environment. There are remnants of an ancient past civilization, much more advanced than the population currently living in tribes and small camps. They both have a very similar air when you first start, and the similarities do not stop there. In 1.0 of Soulmask, the story gets a bit of an update. In the base game, you start by escaping a tribe that was planning on sacrificing you, and you stumble upon a mysterious mask. Upon putting it on, an artificial intelligence starts talking to you and starts guiding you through finding more clues about this ancient civilization that created this technology, urges you to create your own tribe with the help of the mask's powers, and more. It's not that deep, but it does help give you a main objective so you know what you're working towards. A huge part of the game, and a part where we do have to compare the game to Conan Exiles again, is your tribe. I'm specifically talking about the thrall/tribesman system. For those that don't know, in Conan Exiles, you can get thralls, which are NPCs that can either work in your base, or you can take them with you to fight. Soulmask does the same thing, but with a couple of key differences. In Conan Exiles, you might get lucky and find a good NPC captive, and once you free them, they follow you automatically. This is awesome, except when you start getting a 10th bartender that won't fight in a row. However, for any other NPC you want to get, you have to literally beat them up with a special tool that drains a different bar that's separate from their health bar. Be careful not to kill them, and then after that, you have to literally tie them up and physically drag them back to your base, regardless of how far away it is. Your binds also decay over time, so you need to have multiple on you for long trips. You cannot fight properly at the same time. That becomes a huge undertaking when the NPC is far away from your base, to say the least. Then you have to put them in a wheel of pain, which I suppose tortures them into submission. It quickly became a pain point for me while playing Conan Exiles. To clarify, a pain point is a persistent or recurring problem that frequently inconveniences or annoys customers, in our case players. These things cause unpleasant friction while playing. I have had a couple of key points in Conan Exiles where I felt this way, and I'm gonna discuss more later. In Soulmask, you have a much more simplified system. You simply get the NPC's health down normally, no special tool needed, and convert them with your mask right then and there. They pass out, you wait a bit, and then they follow you on the spot. No carrying back to the base needed, no hassle. You can even convert multiple people on the same run and have them follow you back. It's great. I also, in my few days of playing Conan Exiles, for a total of 22 hours at the time of this recording, never figured out how to unlock fast traveling, so I had to walk everywhere, and only got a working mount close to the end of my playtime. I know about the map room now, but I never figured out how to build it, and I only found one single fast travel point that I couldn't use while playing. This was another pain point for me personally. In comparison, Soulmask allows you to fast travel pretty much right away and has multiple easy to find fast travel points. Eventually, you are able to craft your own fast travel points too. Mind you, this isn't to say Soulmask wins in everything in my mind. The character models and character creation is so underwhelming and has a convoluted system of unlocking more customization that I personally don't vibe with. Conan Exiles, at least the enhanced edition I played, has wonderful character models and so many different armor sets you can find. Soulmask is quite bare bones in comparison. Specifically, you have a very simple initial character creator and a weak character with a low level cap and stats. How do you improve yourself? Well, you literally find another tribesman you like the stats of more, and eventually you can transfer that tribesman's stats onto your main character. That part is actually really cool. The not cool thing is that for some reason, your character has very limited customization options when it comes to appearance, while it seems that tribesmen themselves have more faces available, for example. Unlike hairstyles and body paint, which you unlock for yourself when you get a tribesman with those things, faces cannot be edited. However, you can, like with the stats, carry over an entire tribesman's appearance onto your main character. So if you like another NPC's face, you can literally wear their skin and body. However, you cannot mix and match, for example, have a different face in your own body, which is very disappointing. The appearance transfer appears to also be buggy, as I specifically used an NPC that was extremely short on purpose to transfer to my character, but every time I died, my character is set to a default height, and I would need to redo the appearance transfer in order to get the height I want again. It feels kinda janky. So yeah, comparing Conan Exiles and Soulmask is all well and good, but this video was supposed to talk about why Soulmask deserves more recognition and attention specifically. Firstly, it's a great survival game that can be as easy or as hard as you wish it to be. Right from the get-go, you can customize your world from one of the default modes, or completely customize your settings from how fast your hunger and thirst go down, how many resources you get, to the limits of your tribesmen and base. This can be customized at any time. You can play single player, co-op, or in a server. I have not touched servers or PvP, so I will not be discussing them in this video, but I do hear they have quite a few problems, so heads up. The customization of your base and tribe has a huge amount of depth. I am talking down to the most minute detail. The amount of micromanaging you can do in your base and with your tribesmen can go crazy. You can build the perfect automated base or do everything yourself, sure, but you're not meant to. Finding the perfect tribesman while exploring can be addicting, and there are so many combos of passives they can get, specializations, so much that each tribesman can feel unique. And be careful once you name your tribesmen, because they can permadie if you don't back them up, and yes, it will hurt. Rest in peace, Bella. You think the tribesman depth stops there? No. You can also, with the right amount of focus, literally train a tribesman to be the ultimate craftsman, laborer, warrior, you name it. You can train them with a mentor, reset if you do not like it, the works. I personally prefer the RNG of just trying to see what I come across in the wild a bit more, but you do have the option to micromanage and create the perfect tribesman manually, which is great. Another huge thing I forgot to mention about Soulmask is that you are literally able to take over the body of any tribesman you want. Once you get them in your tribe, you are able to control them, which means you let your character go even if they die, and you can take over any other body of your tribesman you want, basically replace your main character. Though your main character should be something you work towards improving eventually. But the control system is extremely cool. For example, if your main character dies during a boss fight, you are able to revive yourself on a body of a tribesman instead of reviving at a revive spot, and just continue the fights through the tribesman. It's really a neat system. The map is huge and has many different environments with their own flair. The starting jungle, the beautiful grassy forest where I built my base, an irradiated desert, a freezing mountain, a volcano, and more. You have to prepare for each area accordingly, which keeps you on your toes and keeps the progression of your resources going with a fast tempo. There are huge dungeons that feel like mazes, robots and huge bosses with multiple versions that unlock different rewards once you tackle them. There are many tiers of armor and weapons that as you unlock, feel great as you progress your world. There are multiple masks you can find and unlock, each with its own bonuses and powers. They even come with their own cool transition and outfit. Multiple weapon abilities to pick from and mix and match. Exploring will have you end up stumbling upon a barbarian fortress that you get lost in for over an hour, only to find that they were guarding another dungeon behind it with its own maze, enemies and loot. It's great. There is hunting. You want to focus on that horrible taming minigame that takes forever? You sure can. You don't want to mine yourself? There is automated mining you can set up, from mining camps with your tribesmen to eventually fully automated mining that doesn't even need them. As you progress your tribe, you unlock insane technology that allows your automation to reach new heights. You can literally make ziplines going through the entire map if you want to. The point is that there is so much there. I am at 140 plus hours at the time of this recording. I have not completed the entire base map or beat all the bosses. I have not completed all the content. And here is the kicker. I've been saying main map this entire time, because with the release of 1.0, the game released an entire huge expansion called Sifting Sands, with its own separate character, map, masks, locations and bosses. Unlike in the base game, you start off with an overpowered character and mask, your own ship as your moving base, and eventually literally take to the skies with a flying ship. I have not personally delved into Sifting Sands myself, as I want to complete the main game first, but the amount of content that was released in 1.0 is crazy. The good? If you had bought the game during early access, you got the expansion for free. New players unfortunately have to pay for the expansion, but if you enjoyed the main game, the expansion is definitely worth it. Now, is this game great and I want you to play it? Yes. Does it have issues? Hell yes. One thing that has stayed consistent since early access is the translation. There are translation errors and text that is difficult to understand all over the place. There needs to be more quality control when it comes to the English text. An item description can give straight up misinformation. For example, the body shape in Peel, despite its title, does not change your body but only your stats. Small but important things like that. As mentioned previously, the character customization is lacking, and the acquiring system of body paint and hairstyles is an acquired taste to say the least. In Sifting Sands, they finally added beards, for example, and new hair and faces, which is such an improvement. Sadly, these faces and beards cannot be carried over to the main game. I really wish they eventually allow you to fully customize your character as you see fit, with all customization options that are locked for no reason. With the power of the mask, it makes perfect sense. The combat is fine, I like the parry system, but the combat can be a repetitive spam click attack fest unless you go out of your way to be more tactical. Being an archer feels impossible, as the damage the bow does is so low and slow compared to all other weapons. I've only used the bow when I was forced to. But the combat can actually become very exciting, especially when you tackle a very hard area with your tribesmen. Some encounters can end up being very traumatic. Oh, I'm dead. I died. I'm trying to get my staff, but it's not letting me. The fucking beast is on top of my staff. Oh god. Oh. Yep. Bella is dead for good. Okay. Alright. This is not going great. Oh, he's dead too. Okay. Get to do that. Please. No, get to do this, Dom. Tony. No, Tony too. Dread. Yeah, Poppy. Everyone is dying. Everyone is dead. Oh, all my warriors died. All my warriors died. Except Arwen and Brad that I left behind to train. They all fucking died. Opal, it's time for you to shine. Let's go. Holy shit. Oh my god. Oh my god, I can't believe we lost everybody. We lost everybody. We lost fucking everybody. Armor visuals. Once again, the customization feels lacking. There are some cool outfits you can get, especially later in the game, but for the majority of the game, you look very underwhelming visually, with little variety except for the outfits you can unlock from fighting bosses' hard versions. And I will compare it to Conan Exiles for 1 second again to say that Conan Exiles has so much better looking armor in comparison. In general, character and armor customization wins in Conan Exiles without question. There are some really cool outfits you can get in Soulmask, but unfortunately have a huge mask tied to them that you cannot remove as well. I just wish that we had more variety and options on how we looked. There is no voice acting. Now, this is hardly the first survival game with no voice acting, but it can still be brought up as something that would be good to have. For example, our AI that talks to us would be nice if they actually had a voice, except of the easily accidentally skipped text at key points. Besides that, it also has a general feel of jankiness. This is not necessarily bad. There are many very janky games that are actually great, but it does feel like the game could use a bit more polishing. The work setup for characters, the tribe menu, it all feels a bit simple. I mean, it does its job. I just can't help but remember that since the start of early access, the game has had no UI updates whatsoever from what I can see. Regardless of this, I do want to emphasize how the negatives should not deter you from giving this a try. My apologies for comparing the game to Conan Exiles a lot during this video, but what can you do? I go from my experience. Liking Conan Exiles does not guarantee you like this game either, but if you are a fan of survival games, fighting, building your base, recruiting people, and getting fancy mask powers, you should definitely give this a shot. This has been my sort of ramble, sort of review of Soulmask. Have you played the game? Are you thinking of playing it? Has my ramble helped you at all? Do you hate me for comparing it to the giant that is Conan Exiles? Let me know in the comments below. See ya!